If you're just beginning in your waxing career, maybe you're in school or you just graduated and you're getting started, I'm going to teach you today the fundamentals that you need to know first off before you start doing any services, which is how to lay a proper strip. First thing to know when setting yourself up for success on laying a proper strip is the temperature of your wax. If your wax is too warm, you're gonna have a really hard time keeping the wax on your stick. And if it's too cool, you're gonna have a really hard time with spreading the wax on your client. So I like to teach the 3-second rule. So you get wax on your stick as if you're going to be laying a strip. We let it sit 1, 2, 3. On the 3 count is when the wax should start to separate from your stick. So right there, 1, 2, 3. See how it starts to separate? That's when you know it's the right temperature. I do not like to teach based on the thermostat on the wax pot because each wax pot, even if you buy this exact same wax pot, it will vary slightly. So we want to be looking at this. Also, factors that can play a role too is during the winter, you're not going to have if you hear my little dog, let me introduce you to Moose real quick. Okay, so we're in my office filming. This is my little filming set, but we have Moose. This is Moose, my weenie dog. He got neutered, and then this morning he got stung by a scorpion. So he's in the office with us today so that we can keep an eye on him. But I think he's doing okay. But you may hear some like background noise. It's him. By the way, I know I touched my dog. I have my gloves on. This is my husband. He's fine with it. He kisses Moose all the time. What? He doesn't, he says, but he does. I catch him every now and then. Where were we? So we're talking about temperature. So during the winter, your pot may need to be a little bit warmer. During the summer, maybe it doesn't need to be as warm. So always keep an eye on the consistency of your wax. The next thing you guys need to get really comfortable with is twisting your stick. So we're always holding our stick like this and twisting, whether that's towards you or away from you. The majority of people are quicker when they're twisting the stick towards them, okay? But if you're faster for some reason going away from you, then that's great. The whole goal is that we keep this wax on our stick without it dripping. So in order to do that, we're twisting. We're also holding horizontal always. We're never holding up like a popsicle stick. It's going to start dripping down, and we're never holding like this. Always horizontal. Very, very important. So one thing to practice at home, if you haven't gotten that down yet, that needs to be second nature. That needs to be something you're not even thinking about anymore. So when you're watching TV, listening to my podcast, watching my YouTube videos, just take a stick and start doing this. You're going to use obviously your dominant hand. Right-handed, left-handed. Okay, not too shabby. All right, so now let's talk about getting wax on your stick. Thumb up top, you're coming in and we're scooping, and then you're kind of twisting again under the surface, so you're getting wax on both sides of your stick. Depending on where we're laying the strip, we might want to get more or less, but I'm just going to go with kind of like a small basic strip right here. This is something you'll use often. All right, now we're twisting, we're twisting, we're twisting. We're coming over to our client. What I do not want to see, so I'm going to show you the wrong way first, is doing this. I see people do this a lot, especially lately at trade shows, like little clips I see at booths. I see this a lot. Look how thick that strip is. You're wasting so much wax, and you're not pushing all the wax down to the base of the hair. So this is what I call buttering. We are not buttering. You butter toast, you do not butter your clients, okay? But watch, when I hold my stick correctly, horizontally like this, then look at how it's kind of setting up, but look at how much further I can get that wax. And I'm using really great pressure, so I'm pushing down to the base of the hair. So when I go to remove, I'm actually going to be making sure I'm removing the hair from the root rather than potentially breaking the hair off at the surface. Because if you're pulling a hair with a grip just from the top here, then oftentimes it breaks off right there at the surface. If we have a grip from the base of it where it starts to go under the skin, then when you remove, you're going to be able to see those roots. You're detaching the root and removing the hair properly. All right, so let me show you how to do this correctly. Here is the proper way to lay a strip. So you're going to deposit. So that is when you're kind of technically buttering. So we're getting the wax off of our stick. Come to the top here. I'm parallel. Is that parallel? At a 90-degree angle. There we go. I'm holding my stick at a 90-degree angle. Pushing, pushing, pushing. I'm going to lift and just come right back over one more time. And then I'm going to create my lip, which I'll get into creating lips here in a second. But the biggest thing for application, 90-degree angle, lots of pressure downwards and forwards in this down and forwards motion. This strip is going to be extremely effective. It's going to get the hair from the root without breaking any of those hairs. All right, so that is application. Let me do it one more time for you guys. So we'll walk through each step we've learned so far. Thumb up top, we're scooping, getting that wax on our stick. We're twisting, we're horizontal, we're holding our stick horizontal. We're depositing, we're holding at a 90-degree. Pressure, 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 pressure. Lift, pressure, 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 and create our lip. Just gonna even that out just a little bit. You can pick up residue with the stickiness of your stick after you apply. And then let's go ahead and remove this and get a little grip here. And we'll go over removal and break that down as well. But I just want you guys to first really pay attention to your application. So how can you practice these things? At home, if you don't yet have a wax pot and wax and sticks and everything, we have a student bundle kit. So definitely check that out. I'll put it in the description below. Use YT10 to get 10% off, which honestly, we should not offer that because the bundles are already so steeply discounted. But I missed that the other day. I discovered this because a bunch of bundled purchases came through. I'm like, oh, we're discounting this a little bit. So act fast before that discount stack goes away. But student bundle kit will be the perfect option for you. You're gonna then have everything you need to get started. So when it comes to twisting your stick, this can be done at home while you're doing other things like watching TV or again, listening to my podcast. Then you'll start really playing around with getting the wax on your stick. Again, can be done without a model, can be done at home. Just do that over and over and over. It's all about putting in the reps. So it may seem really boring and basic, but if you master each one of these steps in a row before moving on too quickly, you're gonna get this down so much faster and set yourself up for success once it's time to start really practicing services. All right, so that can be done. If you don't have a model to be practicing application on like I do today, you can use paper. Just grab some computer paper. If you have exam paper and start practicing that application. You won't be able to practice the removal, but that's okay because again, we're going step by step, twisting, then getting wax on your stick, and then application. So start with mastering those three things first. Then you're gonna wanna work on creating a good lip. This is what's going to allow you to get a grip on the strip for removal. So let's go through all steps again. Getting wax on our stick, holding horizontal, coming over here, depositing, 90-degree angle, pressure, 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 lift, pressure, 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 and then right at the end there, see how I pivot and swoop. So I'm always using an edge of my stick, whether it's this side edge or the tip of the stick, which is still an edge. So I simply went here, rotated up and swooped, and it's gonna push that extra wax that you had on your stick out to create this bulge, which then allows you to get a good lift and removal. Okay, so creating a lip is really important because this is what some people do, and I am not the biggest fan. I don't feel like it's as comfortable for your client, and it's technically not proper technique. It can be used, you're your own boss, do what you'd like, but I'm not a big fan of this. So they apply and then they leave their stick right here and then they use that for removal. First of all, this isn't always an option depending on where it is that you're working, because then you're not using proper technique of staying really parallel. If you're on the bikini or something, you can't leave this big stick like this. But I see that a lot and it's just not my favorite, and it oftentimes does not come off that easily because I see people lift straight up like this and then they get stuck and they're tugging on their client. If you do this, which I don't highly recommend, then you're gonna have to pull towards you and make sure you have a quick pull. But please start from the very beginning. You have a fresh start. You don't have any bad habits yet. Start by really mastering how to create that lip. It's going to save you, especially when you get into services like Brazilians. You really need to know how to create a lip. All right, so we went over now 4 different steps. The last one is removal. This is really, really important. Your removal is incredibly important. All right, so I'm pulling all of this together now. I'm going to deposit, 90-degree angle, pressure, pressure, pressure. Lift, I'm going over one more time, pressure, pressure, pressure. I'm gonna create my lip. Okay, I'm gonna thin this out just a little bit so that the lip isn't too thick where I'm having to wait a long time for it to set, but then the rest of the strip could be overly set. So a few things with removal. Let's just get this off first before it overly sets. So you wanna get a grip, quick grips, no doing this, okay? That hurts the client, but when I do quick pulls like that, it does not hurt. Okay, I'm getting a grip. We're going to pull parallel. I am not going up, so parallel to the skin. Not too parallel though, where you come back and you get stuck on your own strip. We need a nice gradual incline as if an airplane taking off. Unless it's from, what airport is that? I think it's Santa Ana. They go straight up. Do not take off like the Santa Ana airport does, okay? We're flying out of LAX and we have a nice little gradual incline. Okay, let me show you some of the wrong ways to remove. Let me get this on here. Okay. So, well, let me let that set for a second. Okay, one of the wrong ways is doing this. Do not do that. Oh my gosh, I can't stress that enough, okay? So you wanna get a little lift like this. Now, if you can, I'm really good at, I just know how to pinch and get even the smallest lips, I can get them up. Worst case though, hold on to this stick. Don't just throw it away immediately. And you can use the stick, so you come right to the edge. Right when you get a little bit past, you flick. It's a flicking motion so that you're getting a really quick grip on that without pulling on the client's skin or their hair. All right, another wrong way to remove, again, is pulling too parallel and getting stuck like I showed you, or doing this, going straight up. See how it gets stuck there? Now, if I would have continued to pull straight up like that, I would bruise him right here. So we do not want to be pulling straight up. So it's really right mid. We're not going up, we're not going too parallel. You're going at, what would that be? A 45-degree angle. So now see is it geometry? I don't even know. Obviously I didn't make it to that portion of math, but whatever that is, you're finally utilizing it in school or from school. We're going at a 45, all right? Okay, let's pull it all together for one final strip. All right, I'm getting wax on my stick. I'm twirling, I'm holding horizontal, I'm twirling, I'm depositing. Coming up to the top here, 90-degree, pressure, 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 lift, pressure, 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 and create my lip. This is way too thick over here. I'm just gonna go ahead and even that out. Removal too, you wanna remove when the wax is still a little tacky but not wet. That's what's gonna give it a really great grip. I'm gonna use this technique here to show you guys what that looks like. And pull all the way through. So this is a great example of being a little too tacky. So I removed too soon. You can still get away with it, and honestly in certain areas, I do like to remove it when it's that tacky. It might not be the prettiest removal, but it can remove those really teeny tiny vellus hairs or any left behind hairs when you're on cleanup strips. So just kind of side note on that. If you guys want to dive even deeper and you're ready for the next steps, go ahead and check out my free 6-week course. It's completely free to enroll. It's all online. You can work at your own pace. The link is in the description below. And if you are in search of a really great hard wax while you're practicing all this and can grow with you into your career, highly recommend Rebel Wax. I would start with our hybrid 50-50 or even a cream-based wax. But if you're unsure which one is best for you, your climate, your skill level, go ahead and take our free match test test down below. You just answer a quick 7 questions. It takes less than 60 seconds. We'll let you know exactly which formula is going to be best for you. And then you can claim 2 free samples of Rebel Wax to start practicing with as well. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to subscribe. I give tips like this every single week, and I'd love to see you guys back here on my channel.